Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Doc at Padama and this time we will be discussing the role of the panelist during your research defense. And the first role is to be an evaluator. So what do we mean by being an evaluator? The panelist will examine the quality of your work or of your study in terms of the following. So they will check if number one, the problem is clear, not only stated in your manuscript. So the problem fundamentally or basically should be reflected inside your manuscript. Ibig sabihin, dapat yung problema ng inyong research paper ay nakasulat o nasusulat sa loob ng inyong papel. Nasa discussion dapat yan kung ano yung research problem. At malinaw dapat ang pagkakadiscuss ninyo dyan. So, dapat yung issue nakalagay, sino yung apektado, at ano yung objective ng inyong research paper. Yun yung ibig sabihin na malinaw ang pagkakapresent ng problema. And the other one is relevant. Being relevant is also similar to being significant. Importante pa ba, mahalaga pa ba yung research problem na inyong present? Kailangan mabigyan ninyo ng pagpapaliwanag kung bakit pa siya relevant, kung bakit pa siya significant, kung bakit pa siya mahalaga. So ito ang unang role na titignan, ay unang role ng inyong panelist na titignan nila. Okay? Yung susunod naman ay yung literature. So ilagay natin dyan. So lagyan na natin ng check. So the second one is the literature. The panelist as an evaluator will look at your literature if the literature supports the study. So they will be looking at citations. In order to do this, they will be looking at how you constructed your citations in your manuscript. So here, you have to make sure that the citations match the references in the latter part of your manuscript. Ibig sabihin, yung mga in-text citation ninyo, which is in the body of your manuscript, should match the references that you have at the last part of your manuscript. So you have to check. That's the first thing. The second is the discussion you have in the in-text citations based on the references should match with the issue that you are investigating. It should align. The in-text citations should align with the issue that you are investigating. So this is what we mean by the literature should support the study that you are conducting. So make sure you do these checklists that I mentioned. The next is the methods should match the research question. The methods used by your study should match the research questions. So, as you are aware of, during your lectures in research writing, there are various methods that you can use. So, you have to make sure that these align with the research questions that you have presented. If your question or the issue that you are investigating is about the lived experiences of a particular group during a specific event, then the appropriate method should be qualitative, specifically phenomenological. So that is what we mean by the method should match the research question. So you have to go through that part of your manuscript and read and try to align that with your research questions, just to make sure that the method is appropriate. So when we talk about methods, this is the appropriateness of the method used. So that is very, very important when you are writing your research paper. So if the method that you use is not appropriate to the research title that you presented and to the research problems that you crafted, therefore it will be a candidate for major revision. So you will have to do the whole research over again or make adjustments in order to align that, which is not supposed to be. So that is not an accepted practice. So in the beginning of your research writing, the method should have already been checked and is made sure that it is aligned with the research paper that you are writing. So dapat sa umpisa pa lang tama na yan. Hindi yung kung kailan tapos na, saka kayo mag-a-adjust. That is not, again, an accepted practice in research writing. The next one is the results are valid and logically interpreted. The evaluators, your panelist as the evaluator should make sure that the results of your study are valid and logically interpreted. So before we continue, let's just remove the annotations and the notes that we made earlier. So when we talk about results being valid, this refers to the results being accurate. So they will have to double check if the results are what you have presented. So in the panelist or your research defense panelist, there is an expert that would be in charge of double checking and making sure that the result of your computations, if that is quantitative, is accurate. Okay, so there are different specialists or experts that will sit in your research defense, and one of them will be a mathematician or statistician to double check if your computation is correct, if it is quantitative. If it is not, if the data analysis is not did not use any statistical treatment or statistical formula, then another specialist, which is an expert in thematic analysis, will also do the same, whether it's for quantitative or qualitative. So for thematic analysis, that would fall under qualitative research. So again, ang mga research panelist ninyo as an evaluator, titignan nila kung tama ba yung mga result na pre-present ninyo. Okay? And I repeat, there will be merong uupo dyan na expert para dyan sa area na yan. So, when we talk about the other part, which is logically interpreted, so the term logically refers to being valid. Is the result presented valid, coherent, insightful? Was did the interpretation that was derived from the result insightful? Is it coherent? Is it related with the problems that you are investigating? So this is what we mean by the results should be valid and logically interpreted. The next is the conclusion should follow the findings. The conclusion should be anchored on the findings of your study. So when we talk about conclusions, this refers to a statement that you will be making based from the findings of your study. A conclusion is a statement, a realization that you will be making that is based from the findings of the study. So again, let us remove these notes. So when we talk about conclusions, these are statements or realizations that you will be making based on the findings or anchored on the findings of the study. So it is as simple as that. Make sure that the conclusions are aligned and anchored with the findings of your study. And the last one, under Roman numeral number 1, the panelist as an evaluator will use a rubric or scoring sheet to rate each part of your manuscript and the oral defense. So this one will be on the part of the panelist wherein they will be equipped with this rubric or scoring sheet that would track the development of the research defense and make sure that the appropriate score or grade will be given not only to the presenters but also to the manuscript being presented. So a rubric or a scoring sheet is expected to be used by the panelists to evaluate, again, not only the manuscript but also the presenters of the manuscript and the way you presented your study in front of the panelists. We will be ending the first part of our discussion, the research panelist as an evaluator, and we'll be moving on to the next, which is the research panelist as a questioner. So I will be making another video, a separate video for this, and I hope you continually follow this series of our discussion on the roles of the panelists during research defense. So thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you on the next series of our video. Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe and God bless.